We like to start everything off with a little bit of high action, call it our evening blitz. What we do is we throw 45 seconds on the clock and we give each of you the opportunity to get something off your chest. Vamp about something that you've got on your mind. Dan Graziano, you get to go first. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
Throw 45 on the clock. Let's go.
You knew that the Saints' loss to the Eagles was bad, but you don't know how bad. Same thing with Pittsburgh's loss to Buffalo. Those losses cost those teams, for the time being, the #1 seed in their conference. And remember, this year, for the first time, only one bye per conference, only the #1 seed. So if you fall from #1 to #2, it's a lot worse than it was in years past. So Saints, they have one ugly loss every year. Maybe they can shake it off. The fact of the matter is, the Packers win out now. They get the bye. The Saints don't. They got to play an extra game. And when the Saints play in January, something crazy could happen.
Look at that. He gave us time to spare.
How much was left?
That's a fit.
Yeah, 11 seconds.
11 seconds.
Yeah.
All right. I'm efficient.
The Chiefs could score 3 touchdowns in that time.
All right, Fields, you ready for your turn at this?
I'm ready, Fields.
Throw 45 on the clock. Get her done.
I'm going to use all 45 of it, by the way. So, in college football, we talk about resumes all the time. And in college football, while you kind of have to be undefeated this year to go to the playoffs, most likely, there are some times where there are some good losses in college football. We don't talk about that quite so much in the NFL, but the Dolphins had a great loss yesterday. The Dolphins, who had Patrick Mahomes sort of confused, which I didn't know that was possible. He threw 3 interceptions. He took a 30-yard sack. He had some moments of vulnerability. The Dolphins who were playing with no Devontae Parker for half the game, no Mike Gesicki for part of the game, no Matt Breida, no Myles Gaskin, no Savon Ahmed. The wide receiver group was also without Jakeem Grant, with all these players that were not available on offense, and they were within a touchdown late in this game. Very admirable defensive effort from the Dolphins on Sunday afternoon. I'm not sure that this team is equipped to make a deep playoff run, but I tell you what now, if I'm facing off against the Dolphins in the first round, they might be on the top of the list of teams that I don't want to play amongst current wild cards in the AFC.
Oh, Field, don't take it. Don't do it. The same thing they said about my beloved Raiders after their moral victory against the Chiefs. I'm just saying. People are like, oh, nobody wants to face the Raiders in the playoffs. Oops. All right, I get to go last. I get 45 seconds on the clock. I'm going to tell myself to get going. And all of this for me is about the Bills and giving the Bills some love. Look. They've managed to not listen to any outside noise. Sounds simple, but it isn't. Frankly, this team had a direction that they wanted to go. They made their coaching hire, they made their draft picks, and one particular, Josh Allen, that everybody has been very critical of. But they insulated themselves, and they said, we're going to do it this our way. And now it's working, not just because they beat the Steelers last night, but because, to use the college football term, the eye test shows you just how good this team is. There are teams that are 10-3 that we don't believe in. The Bills are not one of them. And when Field talks about teams that are a tough out, I'm ready to say that the Bills are a tough out, not just in the playoffs, but all the way through the AFC. They've shown they can compete with anybody because they did it their way on their timeline, and they didn't let anybody steer them off course. Kudos to the Bills. See, that's how it's done. 45 seconds. Now, that's not the only Bills conversation, though, that's going around. There's also a conversation about JuJu Smith-Schuster deciding that he was going to dance on the logo on the middle of the field. Dan, I know this got you fired up. What do you think about field dancing?
If you don't want someone to step on your logo, don't put it on the ground. I don't understand why that matters to people, right? Okay, so he's dancing on the logo. So what? If I'm a player on the Buffalo Bills, I need that to fire me up to play the Steelers in a critical AFC game that could help me clinch a playoff spot, put me that much closer to the division title. I got enough motivation without saying, oh, JuJu danced on the logo. We can't let him do that. I never understand this. I don't get it at all. Why don't JuJu going to dance everywhere? Just let him dance and then go and beat him.
Especially given the fact that, to Dan's point, Field, part of the game is played on the logo.
Right.
People are tackled on the logo. Why do we care about logo?
Cleats are digging out, chunks of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you not allowed to celebrate a first down on the logo either because it's the logo?
Wait, first of all, are we allowed to be on TikTok anymore? That's I know that.
Yeah. I think TikTok's still a thing.
Okay, I never was.
I know Gary's trying because he's big on the TikTok. But I feel like content's important in this day and age.
Yeah.
And JuJu's got a legit following on TikTok. I think that if there is some I don't know if it's whatever aggravation on the Bills side right now, which there probably is. They spanked the Steelers last night. Who cares at this point? But if there are some people that are big mad about JuJu and his dancing on the logo last night, if I were JuJu, I would just go to the comments of his TikTok because that account, from what I understand, one of the best on the internet.
Did we just find out that Field Yates has a super secret top secret TikTok account?
We know what he's doing now when he does
not
this.
a producer.
When he's not on camera, he's doing this.
Not a
He's on
producer.
TikTok.
He's a burner account for it. I will say this, guys. I had the opportunity for a little while to work in Nashville, where I was working the flagship for the Nashville Predators, the NHL team. And I stood accidentally in the players' locker room. I stood on the logo waiting to talk to a player.
You maniac.
Oh, and look at Bieber. Bieber's doing the same thing. Oh, and God forbid you touch the cup. Like the rituals in hockey have got to go.
Oh, the guy holds the cup. He's got white gloves on and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the logo, the hockey logo in the locker room. If you don't want me to step on your logo, don't put it on the floor.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.